Welcome, everybody, to Talkin' Pitch, a new podcast where the rage is real, opinions are loud, and but you know what? Fuck it, I'm leaving this in too. And absolutely nobody is safe from the group chat energy. We're talking games, culture, and whatever chaos happens online. I am Austin, one half of your host for the show, and allow me to introduce last but not least, the second first in command, Drake One.
Yeah, we're doing this live. None of this thing is getting edited out.
Today, we're speaking about gaming communities, the ones that we love, some that we can't stand, and the communities that might just be a little weird. Later on, we'll talk about what games we just keep coming back to and refuse to leave behind. Anyways, Drake, I got a blind ranking for you. You ready?
Oh, yeah. Let's start with this shit.
All right. Minecraft.
You didn't even give me what the topic. It's just go straight into
I'm going
the
right
name of the
into it.
game.
Minecraft.
Minecraft. How many are we ranking this out of?
6.
6. Minecraft. Fuck. 3.
Stardew Valley.
Ooh. 4. I like it, but yeah, I think Minecraft is higher than Stardew Valley.
Dark Souls.
Fuck. Franchise or just single game? Dark Souls 1.
Player's choice.
If we're just talking about Dark Souls as a franchise, there's like 2. But just Dark Souls, as a single game, yeah, maybe 5.
Okay, I'm going with franchise because you have it as a higher.
Okay.
Fable.
6.
Dota 2.
Numbers are left.
You have 1 and 5 left.
Fuck 5.
It's all right. You're going to be very happy because your number 1 is Final Fantasy.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
So the reason I didn't give you that is because it actually leads right into our first topic of gaming communities. Every single one of those has a very passionate gaming community behind them. And the nice thing is, no matter what you ranked them, every single one of those gaming communities are going to be upset with their rank.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
You ranked Stardew Valley at number 1. They're just going to be mad because they're like, well, Minecraft is there too because, they're very nice.
Yeah, but you guys are also full of racist and whatnot, so yeah.
Why is everybody racist to you? Stardew Valley?
They are. Game was made by a racist guy.
Oh, I don't know anything about Stardew Valley. I just know it's a...
No, Stardew Valley, Minecraft.
Oh. I was just talking about Stardew Valley.
Oh, Stardew Valley is really nice. It's just very horny people for some reason.
I don't disagree. Yeah, I mean, gaming communities, what you got?
So starting off, there has been some great gaming communities I've been part of. At the same time, there are a lot of shitty, gaming communities I've been part of as well. So since you put Dota there, which I didn't expect to be there, I want to start with the League of Legends. Holy shit, are they shitty?
I'm not too sure. I stay away from those type of games. Honestly, I look at League of Legends and Dota as the exact same game.
I
I only know League of Legends because they still have like massive tournaments for that game.
Oh yeah, like massive millions of dollars.
It's just
I think League of Legends is worse than Dota, mostly because just more people play it, and you know it's just been more outspoken. And every game of a League of Legends I play, there's always somebody out in the game that's uses slurs.
it just that sounds about right. I don't know what it is, just that top down. I don't even know what you actually call that type of game.
MOBA.
Yeah, that I just MOBAs to me just always kind of breed toxicity.
Well, it's a game genre in, just inherently it's competitive game, right? It's not just competitive, but it's a team competitive. So you are forced to play with other people. And so, like you most of the time you'll be playing randoms, with randoms. And unlike, let's say, games like a Counter Strike where like your individual skill can carry the game, you can't in MOBAs. You have to heavily rely on your teammates to actually win the game. And if you get really shitty, stupid, people in your team, well, then you just wasted your 30 to 40 minutes of a game time.
I think what pisses me off the most about that type of game is like you just said, if you get someone bad on your team, you waste your time. And instead of ever teaching anybody how to play the game and like giving them good tips, that community is just full of people that are like the get good community,
Yeah,
which
get
are just
good, KYS, like just it's very toxic because nobody really wants to spend time to teach you how to play the game properly. They expect you to do your own research.
and even your own research doesn't always cut it, especially with a game like that, because like that game has no entry level. You are either like middle of the road and advanced, or you just don't play it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which I
Because
don't think that's what the creators ever went for. That's just kind of what it turned into.
well, I mean, the fault partially falls on devs as well, having a shitty matchmaking system and not having any, like actual penalties for people being shitty in the game. The league is trying, but it's not perfect. And people, there's nothing stopping them from making an alt account, Smurf account to just go into the lower rank and be shitty.
This might like fall into the I think this falls into the same category of like streamers who play these type of games, because I think of them the same thing as like Call of Duty streamers who play every Call of Duty game and complain about skill-based matchmaking, even though skill-based matchmaking actually improves the quality of life for the user. But because these streamers with League of Legends and Call of Duty and all these other games don't like playing with people who are worse than them or don't like playing against people who are better than them, they they just hate it. And then it just makes more toxicity throughout the environment because you can't ever improve a game because these six people who get 150,000 viewers every single month change the entire landscape of how the game is developed further.
Right. I mean, this goes back to the ideas of devs balancing games around 1% of a player base. Like you say, most outspoken, the most exposed, like a creator content, content creators or the streamers or even the pro players. They'll be the ones that complain about the balance of the games, and they will balance the game around them instead of the 99% of the people who are just trying to play the game and enjoy the game.
It's
Like
just
League
sad.
is
Like
one of
the
them. Yeah.
the more people that play the game, the better balancing should be. But sadly, like we're kind of just repeating it at this point. Like the more people that watch one individual play it, the more they agree with that take, even though they are not at that level.
Other great example would be like MMORPGs like a WoW and their rates being balanced around 1% of the, like people who are pushing it. And like these people just have no life and it's their job to play the game 40 hours a week, and they're just trying to finish the whatever the hardest difficulty dungeons or raids, as fast as possible to get their worlds first. And devs trying to balance the game around the skill level of this 1% instead of the 99% of the other people who are just there to play the game casually. So you're just alienating most of your player base.
See, with that thought, it also brings me to like Dark Souls. That entire Soulsborne community is like it's a different type of level of like alienating your community because you are genuinely trying to make a difficult game for people that love that style of game. But there is that certain level of people that join, they invade everybody's world just to ruin their time and it makes it a miserable experience for everybody. Personally, I'm just not a big fan of Soulsborne games in general because I, like you said, like I join games to play casually or have fun. If there's a little bit of a challenge, that's cool. But when I am constantly challenged at every single step of the way from the beginning of the game till the end of the game to that level, it takes the fun out of it for me completely. And
I
there's just
totally
that
understand. Yeah.
Soulsborne community where it's like you're not allowed to dislike a Soulsborne game, and if you dislike it, it's because you suck at it and you need to get good. And it's like that's actually no, that's not the way the world works. I appreciate the games. I appreciate the story and like the vague storytelling that they do is actually amazing to me. It's just I don't need to play games where I'm punishing myself after punishing myself for 40 hours a week at work.
Oh no, you're absolutely right. Like I totally agree that if you're gonna play a game, you're just trying to relax and have fun, especially at our age with the jobs and whatnot. You shouldn't be stressed out trying to play a game, right? Like if the game stresses you out to just be playing it, then yeah, that's not a good experience. And people can be subjective about it and make an argument, but at the same, at the end of the day, it's our time and money and efforts we're putting into it. So why should we not enjoy what we do?
Exactly. To go into like a different type of community. I know like I use it in our blind rankings because they were just like good communities to kind of like talk about because like Minecraft and Stardew Valley still have a huge community. They're still played by all ages and everybody. But the one I was like really interested in speaking about was Final Fantasy communities because I
Oh yeah.
feel like Final Fantasy is that one community that there is like every Final Fantasy game has their own separate community within the Final Fantasy community itself.
You are absolutely right about the Final Fantasy. The franchise has been around for so long, and each game is so unique of its own, right? So you know, every game has its own fan base, and they are not usually overlapped. You look at games like let's say 15. You like 15. I don't really like 15. I'm still a fan of Final Fantasy franchise, but I'm not a fan of 15. You don't like 14. I'm a huge fan of 14. We both love Final Fantasy, but it's not the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's like I also like I enjoy 13 because I enjoy the characters within the series or within the game. The gameplay is a different topic entirely. I just really enjoy the characters and the level of depth that they have between 1 and Lightning Return. I don't really count 13 too because it's completely separate from everything else going on. But
I mean,
like
yeah, I will
the
disagree that Lightning is a good character, but yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, it's completely different opinion, even within the Final Fantasy, like fandom.
yeah, it's like the newest release was 16. It was like I don't know 3 4 years ago. It might have been longer than that. I can't remember when 16 actually released now. But like that one was very divisive because you either loved the gothic
Like a
like
darker story.
medieval
Yeah.
nature to it or you hated it because it wasn't Final Fantasy 15 or you hated it because it wasn't Final Fantasy 10 or 7 or 8 like it's very the Final Fantasy fandom and community is always weird because every single one of them will play every single game and then you either love it or it's not like a previous one that you played.
Absolutely. I think that one of the most divisive game was 8 as well when it came out because everybody loved 7. Even though I don't as much as I love 7, the 7 combat is, like yeah, it's ATB, active time battle. It's a combination between real time and a turn based. It just 8 when it came out, it was so divisive because, going away from the, traditional RPG progression system into junctions, GF, and like not allowing you to use any of the magic spells that you have stored because if you use them, then you lose your stats and the weapon progression. was based on the items you gathered rather than buying new weapons and armors. So yeah, like, and a lot of people out there loves 8 because the characters are so cool, story is very convoluted, but it's just not what it was. People consider as like, oh, it went from 7 to 8 does not feel like a same franchise.
Yeah. And that's just that the weird thing is like that's just true for every single Final Fantasy game. I think after 6, every single one of them tried a different thing
Oh, absolutely,
to
yeah.
just to be different because at that point they kind of just created their own version of what a JRPG is, and it's in my opinion like Final Fantasy isn't necessarily a JRPG as much as it is just Final Fantasy.
It has become its own genre at that point.
Yeah. And like for the most part the community like actively engages and hopes for more content out of it while also either loving or hating every additional new piece of content. I know that can be generalized and said for everything out there, especially nowadays, but like Final Fantasy just seems to be specifically if Final Fantasy 17 ever comes out, people are either going to love it or they're going to say it's not 16.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There are gonna be people who love it for, being new or different, and there will be people who hate it for not being same thing as the previous game.
And those same
Hell,
people that
even
hate
like
it for not being the previous game are the same ones that hated 16 for not being 15 or 13 or 14. Not
hell,
like it's very divided in a weird
it is.
way.
Dude, I mean, even 14 itself, like I didn't play new expansion because for me, like it felt like the game ended with the Endwalker. So, let's say, oh, they're trying to do a new story. It doesn't feel like a 14 anymore. So I'm not gonna play. That's where I was. So even within the game itself, people are divided based on the expansion and the story. So yeah, like how divisive can it be, really?
I think they got a few more spots to go. I get
Oh,
the other communities I kind of think about. I just had it on the top of my head and I just lost it. Oh, it's Warhammer communities. Like
oh,
the craziest thing about Warhammer communities, this is just from my perspective, is there truly is three different ones. There's Warhammer, there's the 40K community, and then there's just the general assholes that kind of know it all about both, but tend to be wrong on all their information. And from what I find is that like the ones who are primarily Warhammer and the 40K communities tend to be very welcoming of new people. They understand that like it's a convoluted story. Everything and nothing is canon at the same exact time. There's too much to learn, but at the same time, but it's still possible to get a general understanding of everything. And like I don't know, like you introducing me to Warhammer 40K, like it's still very convoluted and weird to understand, but like you were welcoming and actually like trying to teach me, send me videos and show me all that stuff. Whereas like traditional Warhammer fans, I find not as welcoming. And like there's the third group, we don't really care. I don't really give a shit about them. They're the ones that are negative and they're the ones who I don't really want to deal with. But like traditional Warhammers are they don't tend to like be welcoming of their community for some reason. Like it's very weird to me how it's the same universe split apart two different timelines.
all different how
Yeah,
they act.
completely different.
Yeah. So uh, my personal experience with the Warhammer community is I think it kind of like split into different sects now. Like there are people who getting into Warhammer based on the videos on YouTube's and one or streamers, and there are people who gets into Warhammers through video games or like books and stuff. And there are people who getting into Warhammer through actually playing the miniature tabletop games. And these are completely different group of people. Like for me, like I love Warhammer, so I would love more people too getting into Warhammer. I consume all the contents of Warhammer when I was super into it because I used to do miniatures. I used to paint. I used to play on tabletops, but now I do more of video games and just watch videos and whatnot. So I kind of understand like when older people who's been into the hobby for the longer time, they understand you need the new blood to keep the hobby going. But that we have gotten into the point now that it has become mainstream and we have so many grifters and tourists that it's not the same hobby that we got into before. So, like when you say, oh, like people who are being assholes, it's the kind of people who, are out there just spreading misinformations, just kind of try to, like put their ideas into the hobby rather than enjoy the hobby for what it really is. And because of people like that, the hobby has become muddled, and the companies themselves just kind of like a pandering to general audience does not help either. Like a Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. When it gets too big, they try to like pander and get bigger audiences by just changing and water down their content, lore, whatever, and it just kind of loses the niche, like a interest that it had originally. And Warhammer is getting to that point.
So I
And
think Lord of the Rings is definitely more like that. Harry Potter, as far as I know, especially with J.K. Rowling, is very stuck in their ways, pun intended. If anybody knows the background with her,
mm,
um, but like I do agree. Like even when I started playing specifically with like Space Marine 2, just what I've learned from that game and like YouTube videos you sent me, it just you can definitely see the progression of what it used to be to what it is now. Where it used to be like just countless amounts of stories coming out and countless amounts of lore and background information on every single thing, why certain things exist, to what it is now is just like, oh yeah, that guy, hey, he's a space marine. What's his background? He marines in space and he
it
fights things.
loses so much of its like cool factor.
Yeah. So you mentioned somebody like people making up stuff just to like keep people out. I still think my favorite story, and I use it constantly against you, is how orcs, if they think about things, it exists.
That's not how it fucking works. I
It's my
fucking
favorite.
hate this shit. Just
It's
that
my
one
favorite
fucking
one.
YouTube video says, "Oh yeah, orcs yeah, if they think it becomes real." It's like, that's not how it fucking works.
If they think this thing's a tank, it becomes a tank.
That's not how it fucking works. It's still gotta bound to the fucking laws of physics.
This piece of metal has a wheel on it, so theoretically, using physics, it can move. Therefore, it can become a tank.
Because there's been stories about fucking orc tanks not having a functioning engines and still runs does not mean entire fucking race works like that.
It's still my favorite story.
Fucking hell! Like just because
Still
they have
love
a
it.
rule says if you paint your cars red, it goes faster. I was like, yeah, because they as an entire race thinks that, and it's a minute detail does not actually affect the laws of the like a universe. It's that's how it fucking works. They cannot just change the physical reality.
Well, luckily, they still think the emperor is alive, so therefore he is.
That's not how it fucking works. Oh fuck!
Ladies and gentlemen, Drake is very slowly turning into that third group.
So that's not how it fucking works. You know what? Fuck you.
I still think the Tau Empire is one of my favorite ones, specifically because they are the newest race in the Warhammer 40k lore. And it always just comes down to one story of they took down a you know the story better than I do.
The
They took
dreadnoughts,
down
yeah.
yeah, they took down a dreadnought, gave it an autopsy, and discovered that that dreadnought was older than their entire race. And they had like an existential breakdown because of it.
So it's just kind of actually funny because humanity actually found Tau 5,000 years ago, and they were still in infancy of their existence. So they're still, using like a stones and rocks to, make tools. And the humanity was like, okay, yeah, they're still just kind of stuck there. Should we wipe them out because they're Xenos? It's like, yeah, we don't really have time for that right now. We'll come back later. And when they got back to them, they're like, "Oh, look at these guys! They have a fucking robot suits and have a like system wide the empire going. Should we do something about it? Nah, it's not worth the effort. I was like, okay, cool. Like they literally just exist because humanity lets them. Like a lot of people, try to make an argument. Oh, Tao's a real threat. They can actually do some damage. Only reason why they're still around is because humanity hasn't been able to pull resources, like together to just send enough people to Tao Empire and just wipe them out. Like Tao don't even have warp travel. They're still stuck in their small system because they don't have the capacity to, go any beyond. Like, yeah, they're
It-
cool. I like their lore. I like their stuff, but does not mean, they're like any like huge threat in the, Warhammer universe as a whole.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what a Warhammer nerd sounds like.
Fuck you. No, it's really frustrating because some of the new people getting into the Warhammer lore only watches like some of the YouTube videos or like whatever shorts they get and get their information from it. So they don't get the full information. They just get like a snippet of here and there. I think that's it. But like people who's been around, and it's let's to be fair, Warhammer has been retconned so many times because with every each editions and whatnot, they change things. You know, so not everything always stays the same, but there always been a like a constant thing about Warhammer. 40K always has been humanity is at the top of the food chain. It does not matter what anybody says. The only reason why all the other, like smaller races that still exist because humanity hasn't been bothered to, like do anything about it or cannot do anything about it because, bureaucracy and all the other wars that's going on. They just don't have the resources to deal with it.
I just think the one thing everybody needs to remember is that in the world of 40K, there is just war. It is
It's
always war.
only war. Yeah, it's only war. No peace, no respite, no mercy, no remorse. Only war. And most of the times, those Xenoses, they deserve it. Oh.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to our sponsor here. Quick shout out to today's sponsor, Furious Cabbage Productions. Whether it's content creation, video production, or bringing wild ideas to life, Furious Cabbage Productions is all about making projects stand out. If you're looking for creative media with personality and energy, check out Furious Cabbage Productions and support the people supporting this podcast. Now back to the show.
That's a hell of a segue there.
It is. It is a hell of a segue.
Yeah.
Speaking of segues, Paul Blart.
A mole cop.
Yeah. There's a second movie?
I didn't know they made a second movie.
It's not worth it.
No,
It's pretty bad.
is
It's,
it?
I made it about, I'd say 30 minutes into this hour and a half movie. And then I just started hitting the plus 10-second button over
Oh,
and over
wow.
again until something exciting happened. It was
And that
pretty
was the end
bad.
of the movie.
Yeah, it just did that till the end of the movie. It never got good.
Damn, that sucks.
He got with that
What's his?
girl. He got with that girl at the end of the first movie, only for the second movie to open up with she finally realized that she was better than him. And she moved on.
What a fucking! Oh wow.
It's one way to end that relationship.
I guess so.
Speaking of other segues, I got another blind ranking for you.
Ah, shit. All right, let's go.
No, I will give you everything afterwards. Yakuza
A 6?
6. Final Fantasy 14.
No, no. I no. I'm asking how many. Out
Oh,
of how many?
there's 6.
There's 6. Yakuza.
Yeah. Yeah.
5.
All right. Final Fantasy 14.
1.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Ugh, 3.
The Elder Scrolls.
6.
No Man's Sky.
2.
Witcher, which is your automatic number 4.
There you go.
So what do all of these games have in common?
Uh, Longevity, and they have a great community, I guess.
No, it has nothing to
Mods.
do with no, nothing to do with community. These all are worlds that people have ranked as some of their favorite games to come back to, and they have the
Really?
best universes and just ambiance that makes people keep coming back. Yakuza is definitely one of those games that I do not understand whatsoever. Every time I see a video of it, something new and weird is happening. At some point, it's Dance Dance Revolution. The next thing, it's Tekken. I couldn't fucking tell you what that game was about at this point, but people love it and they keep coming back to it. I know you keep going back to Final Fantasy 14. Um, Cyberpunk, people love to go back to that game. I have a love hate relationship with it personally. Skyrim, we all played for 12 years straight and bought every single version of it that fucking came out.
Oh man.
No Man's Sky, the game that just won't die. Witcher
I mean,
3 specifically is like just these are just all examples of game worlds out there that people love and they keep coming back to them over and over again. So Drake, tell me, what's a world that you just love to go back to other than Final Fantasy 14?
other than Final Fantasy 14,
You can
fuck.
go back. We can circle around or circle back to Final Fantasy 14. I just want to know what other game worlds you love.
And there are a few. I think you're in it as well. Star Wars: The Old Republic is one,
Mm.
because let's face it, that game is fucking goated. It's underrated in my opinion. I have love hate relationship with the WoW. What other games I keep going back to? 7 Days to Die? No, no. Neverwinter Nights. Anything that's D&D related, I will go back to it every now and then.
Baldur's Gate 3.
If it wasn't called Baldur's Gate 3, I would love it. But yes, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Baldur's Gate 2 more.
Next time we actually try to get a full playthrough of that game, we'll just say we're playing D&D Light 3,
Jesus Christ.
set in the world of Baldur's Gate.
I mean, if they didn't have any of the characters from Baldur's Gate 2 butchered like that, I will actually love it. Because I love the characters in the game. Just how they treated characters from previous game pisses me off. That's all.
One day I'll
Neverwinter
actually beat
Nights.
the game.
I beat the game. I just let Gale blow up. Fuck him.
One day I'll get all the way through Act 3.
Oh man. What other games that I just love to go back to? Like because of the game world?
Yeah, the game world, the characters, the overall like feel of it. Like I'll give you a good example if it helps you.
Yeah, give
For
me yours.
for me, it's Mass Effect. I can tell you,
Man.
I go back to this game constantly. How I'll say here's a good example of how much I go back to this game. I have Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 on my computer. I have a combined 74 hours on those games.
Damn.
On the Mass Effect of the Legendary Edition, I have another 46 hours of that game for one playthrough of 1 through 3. On my PlayStation right now, I'm doing another playthrough again,
Oh man.
and I have 185 hours on my PS5 on that. And this doesn't even include the amount of time I put into this game when it was on the 360 originally, in which I beat all 3 games back to back to back over and over again. Like everything about that world, that feel like Mass Effect to me could have been the next Star Wars
If they
if they
didn't
just
fuck it up. Yeah.
tried. I can't even say if they didn't fuck it up because you look at Star Wars and you look at 4, 5, and 6, amazing movies back to back to back. And then they restarted with the prequels and had a fucking boring first two movies with Phantom Menace and Clone Wars. And this franchise couldn't be bigger. Like Andromeda truly is not as bad of a game as people make it out to be.
It's
It would just
worse.
no, it's still a fun game. It has some of the best gameplay in all of the games. Um, but like I have a tattoo of this fucking game on my arm.
You do actually, yeah.
It's not a
Fucking
small
loser.
one either. Fucking loser. You'd put 40K on your chest if you could.
Actually thought about getting a like a tattoo of a 40K at some point.
I know you wanted to get your chapter in there. The what was it? The
Yeah.
Technomancers?
The fucking Iron Hands, dipshit.
Iron Hands. Yeah, that one.
Oh man. It's kind of funny because you mentioned Mass Effect, because one of the worlds I actually love a lot, and I feel really bad for them to fucking it up again, was Dragon Age.
Can you explain to me how they fucked it up? Because to be honest, I never played Dragon Age. I think it was Veilguard for free or Vanguard, whatever one it was. I got it
The
on for
Veilguard,
free.
yeah,
Yeah, I got it for
yeah,
free on PlayStation. I never turned it on. It's downloaded. I've never touched it.
right. So here's the thing. I love Origin. The amount of choices you can make in the game and the world building is amazing in Origin. The characters are, witty, they're charismatic. I love all the characters, even the shitty ones, like I love them. Like even the boring, characters does not actually feel boring, because they still have a decent story. Stan, one of the Kunari, just comes up as a stoic and very monotone. But like if you go through his story, it's like, oh, okay, this guy actually turned against his culture because he didn't think it was the right thing to do, and he's now stuck in this foreign world, just trying to make do, and then ends up being in your party saving the world. I was like, okay, that's decent story. And every Grey Warden, they're like, okay, they're on limited time because they have to drink the blood of the Darkspawn to gain their powers, and eventually they will all die. So they just go to Deep Road and fight until they die, before they turn to the monster. Like that's a fucking dark, setting. Like it's great, like end of the world kind of feel, to the game, and the characters and choices like you make in the game actually matters. It just in two, instead of saving the world and all that stuff, you're just playing another character at same time of all this is happening in another city, and you're just dealing with local politics. Okay, that can still work. You can still build things around it. Maybe they just want to focus on a smaller, like a scale game. But why did you change your game system from, like a traditional RPG to this semi Dynasty Warriors hack and slash with the cooldowns? That's a terrible idea.
Said something in there that made me laugh because it's another game series I just love to go back to, and it's
Oh, Dynasty
Fable.
Warriors? Yeah, that's
Oh, I was
another
gonna
one
say
I love.
Fable. The
Oh,
reason
okay.
that you said something that made me laugh and it made me think of Fable because Fable 1 and 2 I think is it's up there with like Halo 1 and 2, Gears of War 1 and 2, Resistance 1 and 2 as like one some of the best video game and sequel pairings to ever exist. Fable 3 is a game that I love to play, but it is the definition of local politics.
Right.
Once you get past a certain point of the game, it is just it's a game about revolution, and there was very little emphasis on the revolution portion of the game.
Oh,
Once you do successfully complete the revolution, it generally just becomes local politics.
and dealing with whatever is happening in the town. That's it.
Yeah, and like it switches the entire system to now your treasury that you've been trying to build up the entire game. Sorry, excuse me. Your treasury you've been trying to build up the entire game now matters for the fate of all of Albion.
Yeah, like how'd that work?
It didn't make any sense. It takes a very hard turn. I still love the game. It's just there gets to a point in it where I'm just like, all right, well, I'm gonna go worry about real estate now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, with the Dragon Age, with the Inquisition, they would try to go back to like a world-ending threat, right? The issue with I have with the Dragon Age Inquisition is same thing I had problem with Mass Effect 3. None of your decisions from first game matters. I
That's
don't
actually untrue though. There's a lot of decisions you make in Mass Effect 1 that does affect 3. It's just the to me,
gameplay
it's
wise,
always
it doesn't matter.
up until the very last mission of the game, every single decision does matter. It's that last mission of the game when you finally go up and speak to the child about which color choice you're going to make.
Yeah.
That's
So
the part where it doesn't matter anymore. But
no,
everything
but
leading up
that's
to
the
that
that's the most important fucking
matters.
thing. The finish is the most important part of the match.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, after watching Becky Lynch and Sol Ruka, the finish is not the important part of the match. um, that's a game series where 99% of that game was worth the shitty 1%.
But it leaves such a terrible taste. And that's the problem I have with the games like this. Like, okay, all this build up, all this, like a journey. At the end of the day, none of my journey mattered because you already had predestined ending for me. So the whole idea of, oh yeah, all the things you do, it matters. Well, at the end of the day, it didn't.
But it still did. For me, it don't like here's the thing, is like when I think of Mass Effect 3's ending, I always think of as the destroy ending is the canon ending. Because it's the only one where you get a definitive this is over. Because the
You
other
go
ones,
with
it
hybrid,
feels no, hybrid was dumb because if you do hybrid, then technically the Reapers won. They did
right?
destroy synthetic life. If you go with destroy synthetic life, then you kind of fuck over everybody in that area.
Oh yeah,
Like everybody that's on Earth, everybody that's fighting on Earth and throughout the galaxy is just fucked over. Because now there's no longer any AI, there's no computer systems, there's no anything to
they're all
help anybody
stranded,
out. You're stranded, you're stuck in space, dead at some point because the computer systems don't work anymore.
right?
Um, if
And
you're
becoming a
on Earth,
hybrid means yeah, you're no longer synthetic. So yeah,
yeah, no, becoming hybrid means that you are synthetic, and it makes the Reapers all of a sudden your ally, which is a
right,
very
yeah.
weird turn at the end of the game. There's like the destroy ending to me is just the canon ending because you destroy the Reapers, you destroy the Mass Effects, but everybody's still alive. Shepard does die. I know there's like the secret ending thing where you see the
See,
N7 logo breathe. I don't find that
I,
as real.
no,
It's
that's
very even if that is the N7 logo breathing, I don't think that's actually him or her, depending on what you play the game. I will say I play the game mostly as Fem Shepherd because I just find the voice lines more realistic with Fem Shepherd than with Male Shepherd.
I
Like,
gotta play like male shepherd because I want to be immersed in the decisions I make.
no, Male Shepherd is just like it feels very robotic, whereas Fem Shepherd just feels like
I get it. Yeah, I
a
totally
person.
yeah understand. Where you're coming from, but yeah, for me when I'm playing RPG, if the decisions matter, then I want to be immersed. So
Like, there was the fourth option with the game of you
you
shoot
should,
the kid,
yeah.
which also felt like the dumbest option out of all of them.
Why would you be doing that?
Is like you spent the entire game having this kid stuck in your mind because the kid died and like it's just the first sign of PTSD that you actually experience after everything you've done through Mass Effect 1,
You're
2,
gonna
1 and
shoot
2.
it.
And you just turn over and you're like, fuck this kid.
Yeah.
You shoot it and then you lose the war. Like it just it just feels like the dumbest choice out of all of them,
It felt like the devs put it in there as like a fuck you to the fans who's been complaining.
which is weird because they had to patch the game to add in that ending
Yeah,
as
exactly. Yeah,
to make up for only having 3 color choice
and they
endings.
did it just to say fuck you to, fans who's been complaining and whining, is what I'm
But
saying.
to be fair, I also think of this as like, how did you end that franchise? How would you have ended that franchise? Like, really think about it. Could you actually end Mass Effect without Shepard finally making that heroic choice to die to save the universe? Because, like, in reality, that is what they were building up for, which is why I always choose the destroy ending, because it's very clear from Mass Effect 1 that Shepard's going to be the last one to make the decision on the Reapers.
I think the build up to the war was great and everything, like, but it's just the ending pissed a lot of people off. It's not the ending itself, the way they handle how to get into it. And they did the same thing with Inquisition. It's like, hey, by the way, all the decisions you made in the first game doesn't really matter.
Wasn't the
Because
problem with Inquisition 2 is also it was across different platform or generations?
yeah, so it went from Xbox 360 and PS3 to PS4 and Xbox One, right? So none of the save files were compatible. So they just pretty much made this website where you can make your save file using the pre-made, like a decision, like a tool.
Okay. I didn't know they did that. But also that does make it a little bit better because like that brings a completely different topic of like I don't think we're gonna have another great gaming generation like we did with Xbox 360 and PS3 because game
That was
devs can't
voted. Yeah,
come out with multiple games in the same series on the same generation.
right. And nowadays they just keep re-releasing the same game throughout the generations. And the generation of the consoles do not last long enough for devs to make like a three games.
Yeah, I mean, there's already rumors that next year the PS6 is going to be coming out and the next
Yeah,
Xbox are going to be coming out. And for me, it feels like I just fucking got my PS5.
yeah, same here. I just literally got it like three. Oh my god! It actually, I had this thing for a few years now because of pandemic.
Yeah, like I got mine right before the pandemic hit too. No, I didn't. I got it after the pandemic hit.
But yeah, I got it after pandemic. I went to Oregon for it.
Picked mine up on a whim. But I was going to get my little brother a gift for Christmas, and I looked over and they had the God of War edition of the PS5, and I was like, "Is that
That's what I
yours
got
last?"
too. Yeah.
I was like, "Is that your last one?" He's like, "Yeah, man, we're not gonna get restocked for like another week." I'm like, "I know I'm just buying a $20 game, but can you tack that onto the bill?"
Uh,
I bought it. It's one of the worst financial decisions I've ever made in my life,
oh, same
but
here, man. Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of use out of it. Uh,
Really, before I got my PC, upgraded, so it was actually worth it at the time having PS5 to play games. Just did not get as much games as I wanted. That's all.
Now you got a pretty badass Spider-Man game that you never touch.
Yeah. I also got badass God of War games I haven't touched.
I'll be honest, I don't like. There's a fucking gaming universe I never want to go back to is God of War.
Really?
I never really enjoyed it. I didn't like even the Ragnarok and the remade version that they just came out with the last couple of years. I just can't get into it. There's just something about it. I just do not enjoy that game.
It's just you hate Greek people or something, like
It,
you had
not even close to the reasoning. There's just something about that entire God of War franchise that just has never made me care.
It's just that you hate people who has a gray skins, or
I don't even know if that's a thing.
I mean, Kratos has a gray skin, so yeah. Like,
It's it's like I look at that as like the same type of gameplay as like Devil May Cry,
and you don't like
and
Devil May Cry?
no, I don't care for Devil May Cry either.
Really
Yeah, it's just not that fun of a game for me.
interesting. That kind of like a high paced action would have been your taste.
Well, it's the thing. It's like I do enjoy that high paced action, but not in every type of game. Like I don't like Devil May Cry, but I do like that action platformer style when I play like old school Jack and Daxter games because those are fun.
Yeah.
Um, it's just like I like fast paced shooters. I don't like Doom. Like Doom is very fun to watch people play. It is not fun to play.
You're talking about 2016 Doom or
Yeah,
original Doom?
2016 Doom.
Okay.
This recent trilogy that came out for Doom. Like I don't know what it is. I just don't enjoy playing it nearly as much as I enjoy seeing it. But it's like
Right.
it's not a world I would ever want to go back and play again because I just
No,
can't enjoy the gameplay.
I don't think it's even about the gameplay for me. I think it's just how crazy the story of a Doom guy turned into. Like they went from, okay, this guy's just space marine that shoots demons, into, oh, this guy's now God.
So I'm trying to think of like other game worlds. I know this one's a little more of an indie game, but it's Secrets of Grindia. Dude, I
You
still
like
play
that
that.
game a lot.
I have 50 plus hours in that game over the course of a couple of years. Like it's fun to go back to and play.
Yeah.
It's a very, very basic RPG, but I don't know. I can't walk away from it. I know the one
There.
that we both have gone back to a couple of times. Resident Evil 5.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I will never want to live in that world, just how fucked up it is. But yeah, I love going back to it.
Resident Evil 5 is just like it's one of those games that you can tell people's opinion on the game based on whether or not they had friends.
Yeah, exactly. Did you mod the
Actually,
game?
no, I never modded the game.
Oh, that video about,
Oh,
"Hey,
I
is this game
I know what
moddable?"
you're talking about. I just don't have the Master Chief
I know.
soundtrack loaded up. I wish I
Ba,
did.
ba, ba. No, I,
It's
I
like yeah.
love that game because like we played it together. I played, when I was younger. Like I had somebody to play with, so it's so much more fun when you have somebody. But yeah, you try to play the game by yourself, it's shit.
Yeah, the other one that I think you'd agree. Yeah, as long as you have somebody else to play with, like I can play this game by myself all day. I have no problem with that. But Halo 1 through 3.
Hmm. So I was not an Xbox fanboy, when I was younger, but I appreciated Halo because my friends had a Halo on their Xbox, and we played campaign together, and it was a lot of fun. And we played this like a few years ago together as well.
Mhm.
Like
I
it's
finally I
very
was happy
enjoyable.
I finally got you to play 1 through 3 all the way through.
Very enjoyable experience. I love how hype it is at the end when you're on that warhog trying to
It
escape.
like it feels like a climactic ending at the end.
It pisses me up after that ending of, I'm going to finish the fight, and then proceeds to not finish the fight.
Oh, you mean number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, that ending was very controversial when it came out too. I remember playing that game when it came out. I played Halo 1 through 3 with my cousin, and we played all of them as their not like Halo 1, not as it was releasing. We definitely got into Halo 1 right before Halo 2 got announced and released. But as Halo 2 and 3 released, me and my cousin would play them all the way through. And I remember how angry we were at the end of a Halo 2 because it just ends.
Yeah. Speaking of Halo, how do you feel about Halo coming to PlayStation?
I'm okay with it. It opens up to a new generation of Halo fans now that they're
Yeah,
remaking the game properly. Um, Adding in new missions, which are rumored to be about Sergeant Johnson on
which
his
will be
events.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah, like, that's going to be cool. As long as the missions are done right as prequel missions leading up into Halo, I think this
like
game is going to be just as big as it used to be. To be honest, with the way that 343 and now Halo Studios has gone, this is literally their last ditch effort to keep the Halo franchise alive.
right. I I I mean, man, I don't know how to feel about this because it's a remake, or I guess like a reboot, more like.
Yeah, from everything I've found out though, is like it's new engine. The game's going to look better. The graphics are going to actually stand out. It should be 60 frames per second. Um, the gameplay itself should be revamped completely to today's modern age gaming style, but still in that original Halo feel. The physics are supposed to actually feel like a hybrid of old school Halo games, because old school Halo games had really good gravity physics
Oh yeah,
compared
the
to what like
fucking dead
anything else
body
had at the
flying
time.
around.
Yeah, like it's supposed to feel like a Halo game made for this generation, which scares me, but I'm also very much excited for it. Like I'll tell you this, it's not going to be a day one purchase from me because I am scared of how they're actually going to do this.
Right.
Plus, in today's modern age of gaming, I'm always worried about day one releases anyways, because
It's all gonna
are
be
al-
shit on a day one, yeah.
games are allowed to release half finished nowadays for some reason. So like yes, I am very excited for it. I think as long as this first one does very well, which I'm gonna guess that it's already planning on doing very well because they've already started production on Halo 2. Because I guess they want to get these out, like not yearly, but at least bi-yearly, which would be cool if they did. It could be an entire new generation and allow them to actually revamp what Halo 4 should have been. And in my opinion, it shouldn't have existed.
No.
Mind you, I did like Halo 4 for what it was, but after you play the first three, it is very difficult to hop back into that universe because 3 has such a conclusive and good ending.
It felt like a climax. And I mean that's like with a lot of games that I played. 14 is another good example. After Endwalker, I couldn't do the next expansion because like it felt like a conclusion to a story. And Halo definitely felt like that after 3.
It's like if you watch Star Wars 4, 5, and 6, after you get done with 6, you don't really want more content out of that because it
Right. Why would
felt
you do
like the
7, 8,
ending.
9? Yeah.
Yeah, like 7, 8, and 9 felt like unnecessary content to put out.
Right.
Mind you, I did actually enjoy 7. I know we talked about this before. Like, I enjoyed 7 as a movie as a whole in a Star Wars universe. It wasn't a bad movie. It was actually fun. It was thrilling. 8 completely lost me.
Oh fuck, I couldn't dude, 8 pissed me up so much.
I
Like the
just
whole hour of a casino scene pissed me up so much.
yeah, I couldn't care less about Star Wars at that point in my life. It's so bad. To this day, I have not watched Episode 9, and I refuse to. I
Yeah,
don't
I
have a reason to see it.
can't fucking yeah. No, I don't blame you. I don't fucking blame you because that shit is so bad.
I just
Somehow
remember when
Palpatine came back. I was like, what the
that
fuck
that
are you?
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Is like I remember people coming back, and I asked them how was the movie, and they go somehow Palpatine's alive, and I'm like, okay, that's all I need to know.
It's like Jesus fucking
I,
Christ, you guys really are creatively bankrupt.
which is so sad because they come out with a TV series like the Clone Wars cartoons, and
I
it
mean, I
doesn't
think
matter if it was
yeah,
mainline or it was like filler episodes. Every episode of that was fun and good to watch.
right. Which yeah, that brings up a great fucking point. Like I think Star Wars cartoon series, aside from Rebels, were all good. And anything live action, in my opinion, were all shit.
The weird
Which is
thing is, like, I know you didn't like Rebels. Rebels actually was, like, a really good story. I think what turned everybody off of Rebels was the fact that it was very clearly made for kids.
well, it was made for kids, and they're still trying to do serious story, but they couldn't tell a serious story because the kids, they were aiming for kids. It had moments of brilliance, but the show as a whole is so, like you say, it's for kids. So it's so cheesy and like comes off as very lighthearted, but still trying to tell a dark story. So it does not work.
It's like it I don't know, there's just so many episodes where you're watching and you're like, "Okay, here's 5 minutes of, like, amazing dialogue and amazing story, and then here's 20 minutes of this random side character trying to screw in a light bulb and just can't find the
Yeah.
fucking bulb."
The 5 minutes of the best moments of Rebels is literally Maul and Obi-Wan. That's it. Like that's one of the best fucking thing I ever seen in Star Wars. And somehow rest of the fucking series is there's fucking kids running around doing nothing.
No, like, it was like a space pirate type of thing. And, like, actually, I really liked, oh god, I can't remember any of their names now. There was the main Jedi and then his Padawan. I liked
Uh,
their relationship, and I liked that
Ezra
the
and Caleb.
Kayla, yeah, I keep wanting to call him Kalen for some reason. Um, Ezra, I thought actually was like a really interesting character because he kept teetering with the dark side, and it was like
Right.
that was an interesting story to watch, but it only went on for like half a season.
And he had a really cool idea for his lightsaber as well, like a lightsaber with a blaster attached to it. Okay, that's really, like cool idea.
It's something that like on it, like they tried to replicate in other games and stuff, and it just never worked out the same way.
Right.
Um, Kanan, the main Jedi, what I really liked about his story is like he literally went through this entire path of like, oh, I'm one of the last Jedi's. Now I'm forced to be a master and teach this kid. And then he gets blinded. And then his last action was to save his, what was supposed to be his wife, his Padawan. And the last second before like the explosion actually takes him, he heals his own eyes so he can see them one more time before the explosion takes him. Like, it has so many good moments, but it's just so stuck behind a children's TV show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it has moments of brilliance. It just as a show as a whole is so bogged down. Like especially that moment with the Asuka and Vader. That's a brilliant fucking moment, right?
And you miss like half of it too, because they immediately shut the door and they leave it for the Ahsoka TV show that came
Yeah.
out 10 years later.
Just such a stupid fucking idea. Like time
Uh,
travel and now it's like, okay, fuck. Now we're doing time travel in alternate timeline. So 7, 8, 9 is now, not canon.
all right. So I think it's very clear Star Wars is one that we also come back to pretty often.
But absolutely, yeah.
It's so weird how like I think it's what it's the way you feel about Warhammer is also the way I feel about Star Wars. It's just like they do fuck it up way too much to the point where I just don't even care about half the shit that you're gonna bring up to this. Like you're ruining the lore as we speak. They ruined it so much they're about to decanonize 7, 8, and 9 and
I
create a new
know, it's
series.
crazy. Like Kathleen Kennedy ruined this franchise so much. They had to just come out and say, "Yeah, by the way, none of this was canon." Like, fuck.
And they're bringing back Rey, which I'm fine with. I thought her character was cool.
I don't have anything against Ray. I just have a problem at the end when she claims to be Ray Skywalker and she's all of the Jedi's.
It's just yeah. I think they're trying to make the claim that she is literally the last Jedi alive.
And I hate that fucking movie. The way they killed off Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
Oh,
I thought it was so weird they killed him off by, like, having him project a younger version of himself, and when the younger version died, Luke just disappears.
it's like he died of exhaustion. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean he died of exhaustion? Also,
It
what the
made
fuck do you mean he tried to kill his nephew?
I don't know, the entire movie is just it
Like, get the fuck out of here, you pieces of shit! Not understanding the, like actual source materials. Jesus fucking Christ.
it's Lord of the Rings now. It's just Lord of the Rings at this point.
It is! It pisses me. Fucking orcs are not evil. Are you shitting me? Yeah, orcs just want to live their life and feed their family. They're just doing it to protect them. Fuck out of here! Oh
They're
my
lit
god, I'm
aren't
getting heated.
they literally defined as, like, the personification of evil?
Evil and corruption. That's what they are. They are born from the
Because
corrupted, spirits of elves.
Sauron is literally the embodiment of evil,
Yeah.
and they were followers of Sauron.
That's the whole fucking idea. Like evil is corruptible. They're corrupting everything that's good.
Okay, on that note, we are over an hour into this.
Oh my god, yeah, we got really excited about this.
It's fine. Obviously, we have more to talk about, more gaming worlds and more live action worlds, video games, culture, everything. We have more stuff to talk about, obviously.
We gotta cut
Drake,
it here. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, we're gonna cut it here. One last question for you. We'll
yeah.
make it quick. Game world, you know you're not gonna leave.
Fucking Warhammer 40K.
Mine is still Mass Effect. That's gonna do it for today's episode of Talking Bitch. Thank you all for listening, and remember, if you have a toxic loved one in your life that is suffering from mesothelioma, hand them a controller, turn on some Bloodborne, and tell them to get good.
Diabetes.
Catch you guys in the next episode.
Get out of here, everybody.